Nintendo speaks and finally reveals something new in 2025. They also revealed another new thing that nobody expected and almost feels like a troll. Plus, GameStop system has been updated with tons of Switch accessories. Genki's booth at CES is mysteriously abandoned, and a new picture of the Switch 2 but turned on. So good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. Hope you're all doing fantastic out here. The wild world of Switch 2 continues as we launch forward into another January day. This day is Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. The year is 2054 trailer day. So Nintendo posted this trailer, their first official new piece of content for 2025, which I think is notable given that we're waiting for them to give us the real new details of 2025. This is the one thing we were kind of waiting for. We know that Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is out in about a week, and we also know that they've already revealed the overview trailer for that like a month ago. So this is kind of what we've been waiting for, some Xenoblade Chronicles X news. Pioro had teased it. Many people had talked about, oh, there's going to be Xenoblade Chronicles X news, and it's this trailer that is a decently sized trailer. It's 3.5 minutes. It's got good information, but again, this is basically bringing a game that you've already seen to a new platform, so they don't really have a ton to reveal. Although I will say it looks, I think, still really nice. The art design and artistic styling of this game gives it just a leg up on the competition, even in comparison to games that are much more modern. I think Xenoblade Chronicles X looks fantastic, but this is coming out in the middle of March, and maybe it's close to the Switch 2 release date. Maybe it has nothing to do with the Switch 2 release date. Maybe it's just Xenoblade living its best life. But the important news here is now this is out of the way. So anything Nintendo had queued up from Donkey Kong to Xenoblade Chronicles X is out of the way. The only other games we know about at this point are Pokemon Legends ZA and Metroid Prime 4, of which there's no guaranteed information to be coming. They haven't really announced much for either of those. ZA only got the initial reveal trailer, and then Metroid Prime 4 got its logo tease trailer and then its gameplay reveal trailer, but nothing from that needs to be on the horizon. Instead, this was on the horizon, and now that horizon is passed. So we're in the clear for the Switch 2. And so we'll kick it off with a little bit of love from GameStop. Haven't been to a GameStop in a hot minute. Have any of you? When's the last time you went to a GameStop? I can't even think of what I got last at a GameStop. Was it even this generation? It definitely wasn't PS5 or Xbox Series X. Did I get something from the Switch? I probably got some Switch accessories from GameStop. Anyways, they're back in the news with all sorts of Switch accessories popping up in their system. We see micro SD cards, Joy-Con charger grip, TMNT Switch carrying case, TMNT Switch thumbs. Now, the street date for these is 11/15/2024, so obviously, that's old stuff. What you're wanting to focus on is the top four here that have ETA to unknown. They don't have a set date, so we're not getting any information on when the system is launching from GameStop's database. We are seeing 4 entries that are specifically related to Switch 2, and once this stuff starts popping up in major retailer databases, we're getting very close. And it's not just those 4, because another post showed up that highlights even more for Nintendo Switch 2, this time a carrying case, deluxe gaming case, and tempered glass for the Switch 2. And they're specific to Switch 2. You can see that they say Switch 2. We know the name is Switch 2, so this all makes perfect sense. Again, all of them have ETA to unknown, 0 in stock, but this is starting to pop up and propagate in GameStop systems, which means we are incredibly close to this stuff actually being available for pre-order, and I'd say available to purchase as well. So, we have no guarantee on when Nintendo unveils it, but with Xenoblade Chronicles X out of the way, with GameStop doing a whole bunch of updates to their internal system, it feels like it's very, very close. Now, this to me is maybe the best piece of the day. This person says, I was just there at the booth where Genki was supposed to be, but you are no longer there. And people are reporting that the Genki booth is abandoned. Now, some people will say, oh, Genki maybe only paid to be there for a day or two. But based on their tweets and their posts leading up to CES, they plan to be there the entire session. So does this mean that the Nintendo Ninjas came in and cut down Genki? Did Genki's little risk, big risk really, to have a black market China Nintendo Switch like they advertise, oh, we got one off the black market. Oh, we have like a mock-up here that's basically the same thing. Oh, we're showing video of everything, attaching and detaching the magnets. Did that get them busted? Did Nintendo come in and say like, no, 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 we're not doing that anymore? You can assume what you want, but in a case like this where it's that ballsy, and I said Nintendo would probably be mad about this, especially because they started talking about this like black market acquisition of the Switch 2. That's more than just like, oh, we have these great renders, because more and more companies are posting renders like based on what they know. This one comes from OnLeaks, and this is supposedly like the most accurate render. As you can see, we've got the color inside the analog sticks, but no color on the buttons, which I think is a missed opportunity. I think it'd be more fun, but I still also think this looks really sleek, and it just reminds me so much of a Steam Deck and Portal. Valve. Intentional? Probably not, because Nintendo has used light blue and orange as we've seen, but it just screams Valve. And maybe that's what Nintendo's going for. The Steam Deck is a beloved console, and it is a very well-regarded console, and so Nintendo being compared to the Steam Deck would be pretty good. I still think the system looks sleek as heck. I think the thinner form factor, the bigger screen, it just looks gorgeous and great. Regardless, Genki might have bit off more than they could chew, because everybody's posting renders, everybody's got pictures, and nobody's getting shut down as far as we can see. But saying that they got this thing off the Chinese black market and kind of bragging and boasting about that, and then really showcasing video, not just a render, but video of an actual thing, and having a model there for people to hold and pull apart, even if they said, oh, this is a mock-up model, like that to me is going many steps beyond just like, oh, posting renders. So it would not surprise me in any way, shape, or form if Nintendo actually did step in and shut Genki down, issue some sort of cease and desist, have their lawyers come in, or maybe Literal Ninjas did come in and shut them down. But moving right along, we've got another picture of a Switch 2 turned on. This comes from a random source, and they claim that the Switch 2 is turned on. Now, we're seeing what looks to be some sort of like dev menu. Obviously, this is not a game. Very boring game, if a game. It's a very blurry picture. They're basically just showing the top right corner of the Switch here, of this supposed Switch 2. Now, this would be ballsy and bold because it is on, right? But what's interesting here is look at the thickness of this bezel, okay? Like, between the Joy-Con connection right here, I'll show my mouse, between the Joy-Con connection right here and the actual lit portion of the screen, that is fat. That is thicky mouse. That is really big right there. And if we go to like a lot of the renders where people think, it's just not that big. The bezel is just not that big, and you can actually see that it's kind of on this side, you can see it looks really small. So either this is fake, this is a dev unit that has a different size bezel, or as some people have started to hypothesize, is there a second SKU that has a bigger screen? Now, I think that last one is very unlikely. I think Nintendo will eventually obviously iterate on the Switch 2, and there'll be a Lite, or there'll be an OLED, or there'll be whatever. Some people are rumored to think that the OLED, like the screen is going to be OLED, not LCD, which would be crazy for the default model. But I don't think Nintendo comes in with two different screen sizes. They're already increasing the screen size. It's already substantially bigger. And like that, getting that balance down of like bigger but not too big, matching the Joy-Con, there's not really room, in my opinion, to have a second SKU. And who does that even for? Like this one's a quarter of an inch bigger. No. So then this to me is either fake or a dev kit. And if I had to put my money on something, I'd say probably fake. There are so many images of the Switch 2. There are so many things out there that show you what this basically looks like. And you can get this, very, very exact, right? We have the specifications from D-Brand. We have the videos from Genki. We have renders from OnLeaks and others. You could 3D print anything. Or you could just make some photoshopped image. This is so blurry, so obscured. I don't really get as much clout. It also doesn't really tell us anything. Like, we basically know what the Switch 2 looks like. We basically understand the color scheme. We know the button layout. We know the screen size. So this with a dev menu, even if it is real, like, what does this give us? And my answer to you is it gives us next to nothing, if not less. From there, we're going to go to Nintendo. I feel this is a troll. Nintendo posts this on their Nintendo of America Twitter. Build the classic Nintendo system in Lego form coming October 2025. Really, guys? You're going to showcase a new handheld? But it sure ain't the Switch 2. In fact, it's something from, 35 years ago? This is the original Game Boy with its nice purple color scheme, and they're saying that you can build it in October. Now, obviously, the freaking Switch 2 is going to be out by October, so we don't really have that to worry about. But this is an announcement for way down the road, and it's just sort of funny that it coincides with all of us just desperate for Switch 2. Nintendo doesn't care. This shows that their plans are just set. They plan to reveal this thing with Lego on this date, and voila, they're going to do it. This is not going to be like a micro console in any way. This is very much going to be like the NES Lego set where you can build that system in Lego form. There's not going to be functionality. There's not going to be games. As far as I understand, I would not get your hopes up that this is some sort of like Lego fun way to play the Game Boy. It's not. And it also has nothing to do with Switch 2. Xenoblade Chronicles may have very little to do with Switch 2, and this Lego Game Boy has even less. Either of these announcements do not limit a Switch 2 announcement in the month of January. If anything, they enhance the Switch 2 announcement because it shows Nintendo is bumping things out of the way, knocking off the check marks. Oh, we have a partnership with Lego. Let's get that out of the way. Oh, we've got to get the Xenoblade Chronicles X trailer out for Switch 1 because the game comes out March 20th? Yeah. Boom. So we're moving in the right direction by having these things take place and these things happen, which is good. And to me, it just moves us very, very near and very, very close. And we could be probably 4 to 5 days away. It seems like this week is now out, given that we are midway through Thursday, already into Friday in Japan. So it's going to be next week. Seems to be the big week that everyone is hoping for. Now, Necrophilippe comes in with an interesting update here saying that FNAC France is updating its product catalog with the first products related to Switch 2. According to one of the photos, the first game listed would be from Take-Two Interactive. Now, this is very interesting because it's showing, again, just like with the GameStop leaks, that more and more major retailers are starting to integrate Switch 2 into their system. Is that based on the leaks? Is that based on information and meetings they've had with Nintendo? Is that based on they really know when the release is? Are they just getting prepared? Any of them could be true, and any of them are honestly fine. Whatever it is, we are like in the end game state. No matter what, like every single video now, I just say we're in the final closing moments of not knowing the Switch 2 officially from Nintendo. They're going to announce it. Everything is leaking. It's not doing this randomly. It's not like somebody from r/Nintendo Switch 2 busted into the factories and stole all the data. It's just because we're getting very close. Manufacturing is clearly well on its way. Accessory manufacturers already have products ready to go. Systems are updating and more. But the more so that I think is interesting here is the Take-Two Interactive part. People started to hypothesize what game that could be, and I think it's pretty obvious. I believe this is just in reference to Civilization 7. Because we know Civilization 7 is releasing early in 2025, and we know that Civilization 7 is confirmed for Nintendo systems. Maybe Civilization 7 is a cross-gen title on Switch 2. I don't think this is indicative of some mystery Take-Two game that is coming to Nintendo Switch 2 day and date, although, hey, I'm down for them to have some exclusive, XCOM or Borderlands or BioShock or whatever. That would be sick as heck and absolutely crazy. Or they could put Evolve 2 on the Switch 2 because 2 and 2 make 4, and it's a 4-player versus 1 monster. Amazing game. Still my favorite in probably the history of the world. But no, it's not that. I think this is almost assuredly a placeholder for Civ 7 because that is something we know that is announced for this year that is coming to Nintendo Switch and probably Nintendo Switch 2. Especially given that Civ 7 is going to be a brand new game. And while I'm sure the Switch could run it, given the type of title it is, it seems like that mouse functionality on the Switch 2 is just built perfectly for this type of a game. And so I would fully expect that what Necrophilippe here is referencing is, and from FNAC France, is just a placeholder for Civ 7. Why don't they just say Civ 7? I don't know. But what's most important to take away from this is just that these systems are starting to really pop with Switch 2 stuff. And so any day now, but it won't be this weekend. We've got a few days for just crazy leaks to come out. Did Genki get shut down by Nintendo? Is GameStop aware of when the Switch 2 launch and reveal is going to be? I think at this point, we know that this reveal is going to be very soon. And the bigger, more exciting, interesting question that is going to start to overtake the landscape is, when is it launching? And we've heard some rumors as recent as yesterday from accessory manufacturers that April is what they're looking at. And like I said yesterday, late March, early April feels like the timing. Nintendo killed it with a spring launch for their Switch 1. The Switch 2 can either end the fiscal year with a bang or kick off the fiscal year with a bang. And at this point, given what I've read, given what I'm hearing, and given where we are in the month of January, I think maybe an early April launch is fitting. If we look at the calendar, you're looking at, March ends the fiscal year, then April 1st is a Tuesday. Nintendo likes to use Thursdays and Fridays, so we could be looking at an April 3rd or 4th launch, April 10th or 11th launch, April 17th or 18th launch. I feel like that's probably too late. So to me, it's like an April 3rd Thursday launch, April 10th Thursday launch, or an April 4th Friday launch, April 11th Friday launch. That to me is where I'm going to start to really just sort of focus in my prediction. I suppose it still could be late March, but given how like sort of fiscal years operate, I don't know that Nintendo cares about sneaking in a few days of data into the end of the fiscal year. They very well may. Remember, we got early March for the Switch 1, so they do have the entire month of March to play with, and perhaps that's more financially responsible to get like a big boost at the end of the fiscal year, but maybe the Switch 2 reveal itself is enough of a boost for Nintendo and the editors, of the investors, I mean. So then they'd rather just start the fiscal year with a huge bang and have like the full fiscal year to really like pump those numbers up, including April, including the holiday shopping season, including, the next spring. They really can just be positioned to dominate fiscal 2026. But let me know your take in the comments down below. Hopefully we get some more leanings towards launch, as we now basically know reveal is coming very soon. We have all of these signs pointing towards it. We know what the system looks like. We know what the dock looks like. We're very close to being clear on the screen, the internals, the hardware, like the chipset, and it's just games and launch date, the two most exciting things, and that's what Nintendo's kept under wraps. So I think as long as they have those, they probably still feel very good about their reveal. They still feel very good probably about their showcase. They still feel very good about how they handle it. It'll be interesting to see if it's just a trailer uploaded or if it's going to be a direct presentation. I'll also let you know before we get out of here that Walmart Canada did tweet out. Walmart Canada is the ones who are always kind of in the know about directs, and they made this post about, now that we're a week into 2025, when do you think we'll see the first Nintendo Direct of the year? Very suspicious timing given everything that we've discussed. So maybe it is going to be in the form of a direct. Maybe they announce it, like come in for the Switch 2. They would absolutely just destroy the servers of any live streaming service that was hosting Nintendo's stream, and it would probably be just like the coolest event we've seen. Probably the coolest streaming event, I think. If Nintendo Switch 2 was live streamed, the actual reveal, no like trailer went up beforehand. They said like this direct is going to be the reveal of Switch 2. I think that's the coolest gaming live streaming event ever. In the meantime, definitely want to give a heartfelt, like, whoa, this is insane and terrible. And anyone affected by the California wildfires, I'm so sorry. My heart goes out to you. I hope that you're safe. I hope your family's safe. I hope your relatives are safe, your friends, your pets, etc. That looks like apocalyptic out there. It's so insane that that's actually taking place and happening one state away from me here in Arizona. I'm grateful that there hasn't been any wildfires in Arizona. I'm really sorry to anyone that's going through any sort of fear, worry, or actual displacement from the fires, and hopefully they can get them under control soon. It's terrible. It's awful, and I know it would be devastating for anyone that even was remotely involved or close. So shout out to the firefighters who are putting in their blood, sweat, tears, and literal lives to save homes, houses, people, and property, and hopefully they can get that under control and get that back to normal, because it's just crazy. It looks insane, and my heart goes out to everybody affected, whether you're watching this video or not. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. In the meantime, stay safe, stealthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots. SwitchForce out.